Okay, hey there, everybody. Looks like this is going. All right, and we're back. So, this might be a slightly short one. I have dramatically underestimated the moving process. I haven't really. I am actually like relatively on track to have everything done on time. It's just it's a lot of work, man. It is. It is effort. Anyway, I don't remember what we're doing or where we're going. I believe we are in the process of jumping from one star system to another, and we're sort of like in the in between. I think we just answered like a distress call or something like that. Let's see here. We got everyone out of their pods. Do we actually have all the stuff here already set up? Yeah, we had this one that we helped. Do we have all this stuff set as targets? We do. And yeah, so that'll take us a while. That'll take us a little while to get through here. Um, yeah, so I still have some more like stuff that I have to get done, unfortunately. So it's not going to be super easy for me to um, do a ton of stuff here today, but we'll get around to sort of whatever we can. We are still low on Energium, which is bad. We are getting some more of it here, though, so that's good. What we probably need to do as far as like tech goes, once we get access to this, is going to be like more energy refinery, and then using that as a gateway to getting higher tier energy, which hopefully is more efficient. I don't actually know that it is. The problem here is like we've got these solar panels, and the solar panels are only at 10% where we are here. So I'm guessing the output relative to like the different power reactors, like Energium, is probably the least efficient. Then you get more and more efficient as you go. The problem is you need a process to get the higher tier ones, and that requires energy, and that requires that you blah 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 blah. What we could also potentially do is get way more of these energy banks, and then when we are in a situation where we can, what we can do is we can have a whole bunch of batteries potentially, and the batteries will store the energy so that we've got access to the power from those. So that could be an option. But yeah, I kind of don't have great solutions to this right now because we don't have the tools to get any additional energy. We need more energy blocks, basically. We've already got a trade going. I believe we were giving them some stuff here. Um, how are we doing on our energy in here anyway? We haven't started mining this like at all yet. Okay, we got that trade done. Good, good, good. We might have to up prioritize it. That might be the issue. They offer loans. I don't really want a loan per se. Hmm. We're out of meat, but we've been out of meat for a while. We've been using sort of nuts instead of that for quite a while. That got us a bunch more energium. The HSS McDonald is heading off. That's fine. That's good. But yeah, what we really need is to get more of that energium. Just get all of it in here. There's some like the mixed ore as well. That stuff can be refined down and it'll turn into energy as well. If I understand correctly. Okay, so we got the energy refinery now. Let's go ahead and check. Okay, so we got the new X1 power generator we can start working on here. So this does use the energy rods. 0.0029 to produce 150. Okay. These also are rods. They produce 200 for the same amount of fuel. And the three, same amount of fuel, 300. So we kind of want to skip to the third tier. Because the first one's actually very inefficient. I'm not actually sure that it's any better than the one that we've already sort of got here. Yeah, the backup power node actually came from the same text as the solar panels. Clearly what you're supposed to do is have a whole bunch of those and then use that sort of opportunity once you got it to use both. And we're down to like 5 power again already. So we're clearly like burning through our energy like really, really quickly. I do kind of think that solar panels should have more tech for them so that they can get up to a higher value. Only having sort of one level of them is kind of annoying, but whatever. Okay, so we just about got the base materials out of that one place. A lot of the stuff that's going on here, I feel like, is just sort of baseline maintenance. It's like keeping everything sort of like as it should be running the way it needs to be. Which is not great, because we are consuming Energium at a pretty fast rate just to keep up with that. Well, if we've got the stuff already taken, we could potentially leave. Maybe we just take the exotic ore. Maybe we... do that with both of these. That one's already done, actually. So we are actually getting it done, eventually. And then once this is finished, we spool up and we head on out of here. I'm not sure how many of those are required to make one Energium. I might actually be spending more of it than I am gaining it by trying to get these. I feel like there's 0.2 each or something like that. But I'm not actually 100% sure where so much of our energy is going to. Because a lot of our systems are paused right now. Like maybe these things require a bunch of electricity. That's definitely possible. Okay, so that should be done now. Let's... for hyper jump. Yep, beds for everybody. There's pirates over there. There is a derelict there. One's a scannable sector. Let's go over here for now, and then we'll see if we can get them to fight the pirates. Well, we're see if we can buy some energy from them. Okay, let's Okay, so we're definitely taking all their energium off of them. Could sell them a little bit of our biomatter, it looks like. They're paying more for those, although apparently they can't actually buy that. We could sell them fruit. I think we accept this. And we want to check these things. They're at 93.4%. That's actually pretty good. Still missing one of those. Let's see if we can buy one of those. Buying all three of those. Let's keep selling the fruit. It's all the fruit they're willing to buy off of us. That's fine. We've also got plenty of those things right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to build like 2 of these things. And we should actually be able to build 1 more of these guys too. Not sure where to put this one. Let's put it back here maybe. Well, and while we're out here, let's go ahead and wrap up everything. All right, so the other thing that we kind of want to do here is figure out where the Siren World is. Apparently it's over here, maybe? Hmm. And my mission here, did I just have to build a scanning station at Siren World Talia 1? Oh, that's this one? Nope, that's Asteroid 4. Talia 2. Talia 1 there. Okay, so it is that one. All right, so we got our first one here for that Energium. We got a little bit more of that, but still a ways off before we can actually do what we need here. Current power is at 91%, 89.4%. Yeah, so we may want to hop over pretty soon here to the next spot, because we do see that there's a place where we can potentially get a little bit more Energium just picked up off the ground there. But with all these extra... oh, well, never mind, actually. We're at 90... running at nearly 100,000. Are we filling these up, though? It's hard to tell. All right, we're just about done all our mining operations here as well. I'm also out of the infra blocks. That's not good. Basically running out of virtually everything. We really need to scavenge some places apart. I might actually have to have infra blocks, actually. Well, we'll probably just jump for those. Let's probably get out of here in a second. Nope, we got a little bit more time here. Yeah, I can't tell how much of our power is going into backup. Our utilization on our Energium power generator, though, is actually still up. It's not at 0. So that means I don't think that there's anything going into the backup. Well, we'll have to sort of see about that. Okay, that's everything done. Let's get the hell out of here. Are we going to get hit by an asteroid? We probably got hit by an asteroid. We might have actually shot it down. Can't really tell that easily. Okay. Nice. Okay. Rogue bots detected. Oh, that's not good. Rogue sentry drone. Can we target those with our ship guns? I guess we'll find out what's going to happen here. Let's go ahead and do a quick save. Okay, is our ship not retaliating? I kind of feel like what we have to do here is go in load game. High priority are guns, I guess? Robot scouts. I don't think that I can actually beat them because it seems like actually more of them show up. So I think what we probably need to do is research fighters before we can actually take them on. At the very least, probably shield generators as well. Maybe we also have to have more powerful turrets. Where are fighters, actually? Huh. Wait. Do those not exist? Okay, this might be an issue of it not actually having been completed. Let's see here. So it says that there's fighters here, but let's see what we can actually do here if we do this. Wonder what the range on our guns actually is anyway. Doesn't seem like it's really capable of hitting these guys. I don't think that's possible for me to actually fight these guys here. Let me just go back to a previous autosave here. I'm not sure what to do about that in that case. Is this the wrong one? Oh, shoot. Whoops. Keep hitting the wrong one, I think. I should be going for this one. I'm very tired right now. Okay. So all I'm going to do here is just cancel this order. And we're just going to get ready to jump again, I guess, since we're not allowed to do anything here. There's a nebula there. I have no idea what that means in practice. Nope. Wait, why do they still... Controlled through operations? It should be... Is that separate from the main gun? Does the main gun not shoot at these things? Well, let's give that a go, I guess. Thank you for the tip, if that's the case. Why would that not be done through weapons control, though? I thought that would take over for that. Also, why isn't it automatic? Oh yeah, you're right. That's so weird. It's weird that it's, like, operations for one thing, but also it's really weird that, like... Wait, why'd this guy come back out? Just got introduced to the game a few days ago. Yeah, that's just really strange to me, but yeah, thanks for the help. Is this the scout? Yep, okay. Got some repairs that have to be done here, but... More rogue bots detected. Is that down here? That's rocks. It's kind of weird that it doesn't get taken over by the other thing. Did they just blow up my thing there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They just killed someone. Man. Okay, so even if I do have that, though, that's still, they just instantly own me here. Clearly I would have to have more in terms of, like, what I could actually accomplish. Okay, let's undo this. And we have to actually catch the guy who's going out there to do stuff so that they don't actually go out there. So we hit return home order. And then we'll just hop over somewhere else. Yeah, I don't have enough resources to get enough guns to actually take these things out, and the range on the gun seems to actually be fairly low. I probably don't want to fight with those guys until we've got access to shields. I think that would be enough to fix that, but if we want to have access to that, we're definitely going to need more energy. Our solar output being 100% right now is actually kind of good. Utilization of this is low. I don't think we're putting anything in backup right now, but this could potentially be a sort of place where we could definitely do that. Do these things have power consumption innately if I'm not using them? If that is the case, that would be really annoying. What is the power consumption here? I wish I could actually figure out what that is. Because I do know, like, a lot of my stuff consumes electricity, I just don't know how much and which things. Uh-oh. Looks like they've said, come kick my ass anyway. Info in the build menu? Probably. Okay, we can get out of here. Yeah, I can see that scout circling around me, trying to figure out a good time to attack. This is probably safe now. I can probably go there now. Yep. And I do want to get this thing cleared out because there's probably some stuff that I need to get here. Okay. Let's see here. So the sleeping group are the people who we want to make our away team. So we'll just wait for them to pop out here. Let's check to see if you're right here. I also need to build an energy refinery. Let's see here. Power consumption 5 per second. That's actually not very much. Okay, so it's the recycler that really consumes a lot, but that's already turned off. Like, basically everything I have is turned off already. I'm kind of surprised at how much, like, power I'm actually using, given how much my stuff is deactivated. Yeah, this is barely any. These things are also barely any, but they do actually consume power. Shouldn't really be an issue, all things considered. Alright, so I want to double check who had weapons with them. We'll hit the inventory thing here. So you are someone who had weapons. Let's hit your draft. I believe Emmeline is another one. It's been a while, so yep, draft. You're heading on over there. I believe it was Mike. And I think it was Holly? Nope. Oh, maybe it was actually. Yeah, it was Holly. I need to get her a secondary weapon. It's probably fine. Alright. I know I've got another, like, SMG, like, loitering around somewhere, unless I sold it. I might have. If I'm totally honest with you. But regardless, what we're really after here is some more energy blocks and more infra blocks. And for any of that, we're going to have to turn on our power again, which is, but whatever. Okay, so you four, let's get you inside. And I think we're going to pop in over here. Hopefully it's the bugs. But we are now into the secondary sort of area. And there could very well... Oops. That's the wrong button. There could be more dangerous everything. Nope, it's robots. Shit. Nothing found. Unfortunate. Okay, so we're just going to take this nice and slow and steady. The explosion is the thing that really gets me about these guys, because there's no like range that I actually like fighting these guys at. Okay, let's cluster up back here. Wait, what? Okay, that's just cheap. God, that sucks. Okay. Okay, no game audio? Is the game audio... is it really quiet or is it off? Because I thought it should just be, like, really quiet. Let me find out here. There is game audio. Let me just turn it up a little bit. This is one of the games where I know, like, the original version before, like, the original, or before the actual release, they did actually have a problem where they were, claiming the soundtrack. Because I don't think they were using free music during their beta. A tactical grip. Okay, we'll continue drafted, and we'll grab everybody back to the ship. Oops, nope, door. And take this thing. Salvage it all. Transfer, we'll grab everything. Only getting 2 fuel and 1 energy block, but could be worse. These are old, I think. Okay. I think that they fixed that issue where they were like claiming music though, because the music soundtrack has changed. Like the opening theme doesn't have lyrics anymore, and it's very different. But yeah, I generally try to like avoid games where they do that, or I play them really quiet when they do, and a lot more things have been doing that lately. Yeah, we got people who are in the medical beds. That's fine. We've got lots of pretty bad wounds right now. Okay, so the additional infra blocks is going to be a pretty big help. Yeah, and I'm still probably going to even have to like run a bit early today again because I still have moving to do. I actually don't have moving to do. I have to go into my old place and I have to finish cleaning it, which is basically actually almost done. Did Zabalin die? I think Zabalin just died. Oh, he's just sleeping. Oh, this turned into a scroll bar because of the incoming pirates. Okay, that's good. That's fine. I do actually have to do something about that, so we are going to go ahead and try and do a jump here. This place kind of sucks, though. I do have to say. So, actually, ETA 3 hours. There's 3 hours for both of them. I'm going to cancel the jump. Because if they're both arriving at the same time, then hopefully the pirates will get beaten up by the other guys, and we can help out with that too. We got infra scrap that needs to be pulled in as well, and we do actually want that brought in, so we can also trade with the others. Right, that's the new power generator. It's actually not very good. We're just going to go ahead and try and skip to the best model, which is probably not necessarily the best way to go about things. Okay, so who's where? Yeah, so they're going to be fighting each other. I think we might be too far away to contribute firepower to this. And I don't really want to run our light crafts all moved in. Just make sure... Yeah, well, I want the deposit back is basically the thing. Like, you know, it'd be kind of nice to get that back. You'd think that, technically speaking, like, the ship here would be the better equipped one, but I don't actually think it is, necessarily. It has shields, and the pirate ship doesn't seem to. But the really nice thing is, if this thing gets destroyed, like, we'll have the ability to go in and start, like, taking it over. And that would actually be really, really good. Or not taking it over, but, like, salvaging it, killing off the crew that are in there. Decline? Can I get these guys to surrender to me? That would be very funny. Kind of want to actually... Oh no, I want them to surrender. How come I can't... Is there a way to make them surrender to me? I wonder who would actually be getting paid for this, because it doesn't... I don't actually necessarily know if that would be me that would be paying for that. Okay, we need to turn that on. Got absolute crap tons of stuff that we need to get done there. Oh wait, we're getting shot at. They can reach me from here? Why are they shooting at me instead of this thing? That's kind of crazy. Okay, you know what? Where is... I can't believe they have enough guns that they can actually just fire at us instead of, you know, maintaining their shots at the thing that they're trying to kill. This might be a I have to go back in time sort of section here. They keep trying to destroy my furniture here. Maybe I should have just jumped when I had the chance. Their guns definitely seem like they're more advanced than ours for some reason. I do feel like there's some element to this that's kind of cheap. Like, why would they be able to fire at me like this? Okay, where's our gun? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go back here. Let's go back a bit. So we'll go to autosave 1, I think. That's about 7 minutes ago. As soon as this thing jumps in, we're gonna start firing at it this time. Oh. Gonna turn that on again. What do I turn off? Like, this is the tricky part. Like, what do I turn off at this point? These barely have any power consumption. This is kind of something I have to keep on, so I can't really turn that off. I'd probably turn off the CO2 producer. That's barely any. That's barely any. These actually consume a decent amount of power, but like if I turn those off, that shuts off everything. These things are 50 per second. Can I turn these things off and actually have that matter? Or I'd imagine these only... If I find out that I can turn these things all off and save a crap ton of power and then like turn them back on when I'm actually jumping, it's going to be very irritating. This probably implies that someone's trying to... Oh, shit. Damn it. Okay. Okay, so still gonna try and turn this on, and we're gonna try and turn all these off again. The reason I had to do that is because I realized that I must have gotten flashbang exploded by that robot dying, which does suck when that happens. Okay. If I recall correctly, that was the last of the bots here, so we can actually just rush through here. This is probably something new now. Armored vest, actually, that's pretty good. Okay. Get you guys back in here. The fact that we got 2 injured is pretty bad, but we'll manage probably. Protection is 21%. That's actually not terrible. Okay, how's our power still doing here? This is up at 25%. Yeah, I really want to find more things that I can turn off without it, like, impacting operations too badly. It's weird to me, for example, that the composter requires power. Well, let's turn off the water collector and the water purifier. This hull stabilizers need to stay on. Oxygen generator feels like it's important. I can't imagine that's actually a very good thing to turn off. Alright, so we'll try this again. We'll see if we can actually deal with those pirates a little bit better. I'm not very good at the space combat because it just hasn't come up yet. This is like kind of the first sort of round where it has, and everything kicks my ass, so that's unfortunate, but also not that unexpected. I kind of don't have enough investment into that to really get through that. Yeah, so Holly and Zabulin both need medical beds, unfortunately. Do I actually have the ability to get another bed? Furniture, I think. No? Facility, okay. Oop, I can't do that. Okay. Huh, pirates aren't coming this time. They might be just a little bit later. They might be also heading in, but they're a bit slow. Yeah, they're over here. Zabulin heading back in there with his injuries and actually doing work. That's kind of interesting. He's actually taking more damage, I think, because he's got like that open wound condition or what have you. Oh no, he's kind of going back and forth a little bit. Almost looks like this with health. All right, let's see if we can do a bit of a trade here. If I could buy some energy off of them, that would actually be kind of perfect. They're charging more for it, but you know what? I'm going to pay the extra price for it. We could actually... You know what? Let's cancel that. Let's actually buy the energy rods if we can. Because we're going to start transitioning over to using energy rods as our power source instead anyway. So having a reserve of those is probably what we want to do. We also want to buy some energy blocks. Maybe a tech block. Is there anything that's sellable for high? Not really. Just the Hyperium. I can afford to sell them a little bit of that right now. They only want one, that's fine. That's good. We've got enough money that we can make this trade. And I'm going to also buy like a couple infra blocks. So one of the things that I could theoretically do here is I could actually build our upgraded power generator since we're just about teched into it. And even though we're not going to stick with it, we could switch it out later. Like we could sort of just not keep it. And I think that that would probably be the best sort of situation that we got here. Zabulin, why are you about to pass out over there? You need to get back here. Okay, so he gets the medical bed now, and he's going to heal up a decent amount. So that worked out. Still going for this one. I can actually take this one apart, and then when we've got that done, we can switch over again. So, yeah, so this would be the 1x power generator. So we could actually build this now. I need 2 tech blocks, and I need 2 infra blocks. I believe we're actually getting some tech blocks, but... Wait, what uses the energy cells? Because this doesn't. Do we use energy cells? What do we use energy cells for? What the heck? Energy blocks are made out of energy cells. Okay. So that's what that's for. That's built using the optronics. So energy cells are made out of the energy rods, but they're not actually any energy themselves. Okay. Also, we're overweight again. I need to actually dump some stuff on a trade here. I think we are okay with selling a couple of our energy blocks, or energy cells, or just one even. 2 of those, 2 more of these. 540. It's all our money, that's fine. I want to get rid of some of our stuff here. And what I'll probably do is actually just give them a bunch of our soft scrap, even though we're capable of turning that into other stuff here. Sell some biomatter. Where's our hull blocks? I could sell them some hull blocks. So they'd have to give me a bit of money here. Okay, so we accept that. Weird that the pirates haven't showed up. Oh, here they come. Okay, so we'll just have to see how this goes, I guess. Hopefully these guys don't leave too quickly. Like, that's kind of the thing we have to hope for, is that they don't leave before the pirates show up, and hopefully they start fighting the pirates instead of us. Yeah, we're low on Energium again. That's kind of fine. Okay, we're still missing our 2 tech blocks. That should be coming in, though. Let's get that guy into our turrets. Okay. So, those guys should be firing at each other right now. We want to add our fire into that sort of mix. Let's... They should also be getting hit by the other ship over here. Is this ship not firing at them? No, looks like they're firing at that military ship too. Now it looks like they're only firing at the military ship. Something must have happened. Nope, now they switched to me. Okay, it's kind of going back and forth. Our power's going down pretty fast. Switch over again. I don't think they're getting shot at, though. I need to go into a different view. Okay, power generator, let's put you down here. It does help quite a bit that they're firing at us, like, only one in every, like, few volleys, but the fact that they're not getting fired at by that military ship is kind of weird. Like, whatever's going on here feels kind of buggy. Like, why isn't this guy firing back? Is it because they're in the middle of... Are they trying to board? They might be trying to board this thing. They've got way more hit points than I do. What is going on here? Like, why is this not firing back? Does this thing not actually have a main gun? This version of that military ship might not have a main gun. Okay, you know what? That's very stupid. It only has a point defense cannon. That's what's going on. God damn it. Okay, I need to go back again. Okay, so this is before the other thing arrives. It's just before that. I might need to leave before it even... Okay, so these all need to get turned back on. This is so stupid. I've sort of mentioned this game's like space combat is honestly kind of not great. Yeah, this really sort of like iterates on that, it feels like, at that point. It feels pretty bad. Oops, I have to... turn that off for now so I can get the trade done. Okay, they are just pummeling the shit out of us, it seems like. Still got another trade going on. Can find that. Trade's still going on here. Okay, we're done that. Let's get out of here. Decline. Zero Company, I haven't even heard of that. What's that? Dodged a couple bullets there, that's good. We didn't finish actually doing this derelict, unfortunately, but... Loading, what was that? That's a claimable ship. Incoming rogue bots, damn it. This place is so dangerous, what the heck? Oh, let's check out what Zero Company is. I might remember this if I actually look at it. It's the Star Wars XCOM game? No, I haven't actually heard of that somehow. It's, looks like it's set during sort of the Clone Wars. I didn't actually mind those movies, but, yeah, probably not going to bother. I don't really have, like, a humongous fondness for XCOM-style games, because they make me mad, but, you know, beyond that reason, it's mostly that reason. Let's be realistic here. It's almost entirely the fact that that those games make me mad. Alright, so I need to do that there. This looks like it's got a bunch of, like, solar panels and stuff like that. That's interesting. No one's dead, right? Okay. Siren World. Yeah, so we have to do the signal. So we take over that place and turn it into our signal. That's what we gotta do there. I want to collect all this stuff here. It's random nuts and seeds floating in space. Obviously, we take that. It's apparently got a lot of former XCOM devs working on it too. That's probably good as far as like it being quality goes, but that does imply that they would make me mad. What might be happening in this run is I might be a little bit scuffed just because, like, I don't have, like, the weapon systems that I need. I probably needed to, like, spend more time doing more stuff to avoid getting into this sort of situation here, where I just can't really take on a lot of the enemies that are sort of, like, shooting at me or whatever. Trap has been activated. Rogue bot scout sent out signal. Rogue bots detected. Okay, so we have got someone who's on sort of Overwatch here. So we should be able to get somebody on the guns shooting at these little things. But it seems like the point defense cannons only have a very limited range, so... Wait, is it operations I should be on here? Pretty sure. You want an XCOM clone? Yeah, that's fair. That's reasonable. I kind of feel like it would be harder in some ways to really get excited about, like... It was already hard for me to really care about all my little doobers in XCOM. If they're all clones, it makes me feel like it would be even harder for me to care about the individual troopers. I know that they're supposed to all have their own individual little personalities, and they're supposed to actually be, like, a little bit one way or the other on an individual basis, but... It is hard for me to get excited about the clones as far as they go. You do get, it looks like, get the Jedi as well, though, so there is that. Jedi getting RNG to get, like, blasted by a random bot, though, is kind of not ideal. Okay, we got rogue bots detected. Does that mean they're actually here, or does that mean we're just hearing about them? Yeah, the range on that feels like it's such that you actually have to have them, like, around your ship, like, everywhere. Which kind of sucks. Oh, God. You've never seen a Star Wars movie. How did you manage that? God, the space combat in this game sucks so badly. If any of those shots had connected, we would have probably had that one guy. Okay, that's one splashed. Low hull stability because we're getting shot at constantly. Yeah, I understand. It's two splashed. Hull stability should automatically go back up over time, though, so... Yeah, I'm actually a pretty big fan of Star Wars in general, but that's why I can be sort of more particular about it. I do feel like the Rebel Alliance would make for a better group in, like, an XCOM sort of sense there. But I guess it depends on what you're sort of trying to get the feeling of. I feel like Clone Troopers is more XCOM 1. Rebels would be like a more of an XCOM 2 kind of vibe. Mind you, of the newer XComs, not of the classical ancient ass ones that are a million years old. But yeah, Rebel Alliance would be really, really good as an XCOM 2 sort of version of it. Also, I don't know what you would do for the clone trooper archetypes, because there's basically, I think, just like two types of clone troopers. There were like the regular ones that were sort of like a few places, and they sort of act as like commandos basically already. And then there were the ones that had the heavy weapons. I guess that's fair, but I'm also not very big on movies. I don't watch very many movies either. In spite of that, I just don't. Yeah, I don't see very many. What the hell? Come on, man. It's just all got turned into rubble. So, like, is there a point where these rogue robots are gonna stop, like, coming in and just blowing the shit out of my ship? Because, like, if I can't actually deal with this, then, like, it's kind of... like, bad, right? Okay, I probably actually have to come back here and do all the stuff, like, later. I don't think I can actually succeed here. Hmm. Maybe I just have to make a run for it into the Mega Masala belt over here. And what I probably have to do is actually go back to a previous save point and do this, because, like, I keep getting my ass kicked by robots or whatever, or pirates or everything else. But I think I need to actually, like, just grind up until I've got the resources for me to make a bunch of, like, extra ship systems that I don't have access to right now. Where I've got, like, for example, the more powerful, like, generators and stuff like that. But more importantly, I kind of feel like I need to have better systems for, like, better defenses, which sucks, because, like, the defenses in this game are kind of not that great. So I would definitely need the, like, shield console, it feels like, at the sort of bare minimum. These things actually use energy cells. That's what those are for. God. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to go, like, way back for this one. This probably also needs energy cells, yeah. Hmm. Does it need the energy cell and power? Huh. Okay, so this thing actually consumes energy cells after a certain number of shots, basically. I'm guessing this covers, like, less area, but it doesn't actually... Okay, so you could actually build a whole bunch of small shield generators, and they would each, like, take 10 hit points, basically. Hmm. Okay, I feel like what we have to do at this point in time is go all the way back to here, which really sucks. Which I'm not really a big fan of, but okay, so for this we have to do this. We turn off this thing. We grab you, we return home, and we get ready to jump again. And what we want to do here is... well, we actually kind of could just do rapid jumps at this point in time, actually. Let's do that. So yeah, this really sucks that we're doing this. I actually kind of hate the fact that we have to, but... okay, so we're going to jump over to here. We want to make it so that everywhere counts as visited. Good God. Okay. Okay. Jumping again. Okay, we do actually want to take apart this thing as fast as we can here. Looks like we're actually in a good time period for that to happen. Because I do still need to get some, like, batteries and stuff like that, but... Well, I guess the thing about Star Wars is, like, it's probably hard for you to have, like, not experienced it through some sort of cultural osmosis because it is so ubiquitous as far as, like, everything about it, really. So even if you haven't seen Star Wars, I'd imagine you've experienced Star Wars to some extent here. Okay, this place had robots and they suck, but whatever. This entire sector is like so many robots, it is obnoxious as hell. Okay. Fortunately, this place only has like 2, but still. You get back before this thing explodes. Nope, should be safe there. That should actually be all of them. I think we took less damage this time. Okay, data log. That should be all of them, I think. Vaguely familiar with it through the culture, yeah. It's hard to avoid it to some extent. It's a little bit like Lord of the Rings. It's a big enough cultural like thing that even if you didn't like experience it yourself, you've experienced it to some extent. You know what it is. You can tell when people are talking about it. Okay, you guys, let's get you back home. And we gotta get this thing here taken apart. Unfortunately, we don't get the bulletproof vest this time, but that's fine. Okay. Yeah, so I guess the basics of it is what I'm complaining about is like the prequel trilogy, which is what that game seems to be based on, is like the Clone Wars, which is where a lot of the really big, interesting battles come about. But like an XCOM style game doesn't really fit super well with them because you do have like the small commando groups that are led by the Jedi, which are like more elite clone troopers. but they're still just clones, right? They're all sort of the same as one another. They're all equipped very similarly to one another. Their battlefield roles are all very similar to one another. The Jedi mix it up a little bit because you've got like the Jedi and they'd be able to act as like your sort of melee psychic combination there from XCOM. So it'd be like having a bunch of psychic scouts or whatever that class is. I forget what the close range melee class was. But the rest of them are all going to be either like heavy gunners or they're all going to be just regular gunners. Like they kind of had snipers, I guess, but they were just regular troopers with a longer range gun. And I can't even remember if that's even a thing. I think that was just they picked it up for like a little bit. They didn't really have like different classes, which feels like it's a bit of a wasted opportunity. By contrast, if you go to like the original three, you've got the Rebel Alliance versus the Empire, which is a different conflict, but the Rebel troopers feel like they'd fit better in an XCOM game because you got these sort of scrappy ragtag groups, but they're using very improvised types of weapons, so they can be equipped basically however you would want. It would also de-emphasize the Jedi, which I think are like the sort of thing that they sort of try to like jam into too many of their games, which I don't think they need to. I kind of think the games are more interesting when they're not reliant on the Jedi to sort of pull their weight. Although that's probably a contrary opinion. I think a lot of people are really only interested in like the Jedi and don't care about the rest of the stuff. The other thing though is like during the Clone Wars, it was all about like really. It had lots of really big battles because it was like two big sides fighting each other. It was like the God, why can I not remember them? They were like the merchants, Trade Federation, versus like the Republic, and both of them were like giant militaries that were just sort of smashing troops against each other. I say giant armies when in reality there were only like a million clones, which is barely anything, but you know. I'm not actually sure how many clones though were actually in the war because I know that at certain points they had like a million or something like that, but that's probably like they lost a bunch of them and they kept 3D printing out more clones during the whole time. Kind of like how the Trade Federation probably kept making more drones. I think the other reason I think that would be irritating is like the clone troopers, like I was sort of mentioning, they had like a million of them. They were outnumbered by like 200 to 1 or something ridiculous, probably more than that. So, like, if you're losing a clone trooper to like one drone or something like that, that's actually kind of ridiculous. That's sort of like ludicrously bad. Like the drones are so bad at combat that you could get into conventional line battle against them between the drone troopers and a bunch of like weird fish people that are throwing rocks at them basically that well they're not rocks, they're like water balloons that somehow cause robots to explode. Um but it's a pretty bad mismatch, I feel like. What I'm basically saying is I'm not interested or excited about that game for a bunch of very fringe, niche, ultra Star Wars nerdsy reasons that nobody gives a shit about. Old man shakes stick at clouds kind of moment is what I'm doing here. You'll never lose a unit. You're just gonna set it to like ultra easy mode or something like that. Yeah, that's probably that's the right call to make in those kinds of games. Speaking of games that make me mad, I did start playing Darkest Dungeon again. There's no way that you miss a 90% shot and have someone die. Yeah, I mean, it's never happened. I mean, you're not going to miss the 90% shot. They're going to get hit by a retaliatory 5% shot that crits you and instantly puts one of your guys in the grave. Yeah, that could never happen. Yeah, but speaking of like games that make me mad, I started playing Darkest Dungeon again. I've never beaten that game, and I probably never will. But the consistent thing about Darkest Dungeon is I will start playing it, I will continue playing it until it makes me mad, which is not very long, and then I will stop playing it. And that's my Darkest Dungeon loop. Um, so yeah, it's not much to add about that. I've just been doing that. Why I do this to myself, who knows? Exactly, literally never happened to me. It's only got a one in approximately one. What is it? 1 in 400 chance. It'll happen to me instead. Well, I'm not playing it, so it's clearly not going to happen to me because I'm not playing it. If I was playing it, it clearly would happen to me eventually, but you know. The thing about a 1 in 400 chance is that in any game that goes on long enough, you'll eventually hit that 1 in 400, right? Like, that's the problem with those sorts of things. Okay. How much longer? Okay, we got that done. Let's get this going. I kind of need to hunt down that military vehicle so I can trade with it, but that's because we pretty badly need some energy blocks and some more infra blocks, but we do have the resources to make our own now. We have a whole infra scrap. Had a lot of fun with Darkest Dungeon. The systems, when they're not actively just deciding that you are going to get punished, are great. I don't think that gets unlocked after because I have access to it unless I actually beat it and I don't remember beating it, which could very well have happened. It is very possible. I just do not remember having done that. I don't think I beat it, but I mean, maybe. Either they changed. I think more realistically, they probably changed it so that it's like you can access the hard mode without beating it first. But yeah, no, that's one of those series where it's just like you will be going along, it'll be fine, and then you'll like whiff like 9 attacks or whatever. They might have just removed the requirements for beating it. Yeah, I think so. That's probably more likely to me. I don't like. I really don't remember beating the game, and I probably didn't. Um, so you know, they probably removed the requirement unless there's super ultra hard mode that's after that one. But if there is, I don't want to play it. The problem for me is like I can't get into the proper mindset to play Darkest Dungeon because like I'm one of those perfectionist types where it's just like I'll lose a team or whatever, and a normal Darkest Dungeon player is gonna like shrug that off and just be like, oh well, I guess it was those guys' time. Um, but I will just like rage quit the game. It's just like screw it. Because realistically, there's unless you're on like the hardest difficulty with the timer, there's no penalty to losing a team. Like there's nothing wrong with it. Um, I just am not in the right sort of person to deal with that as far as that goes. Where it's just like I keep losing teams. Like okay, well screw it. I'll just play something else. It's like well my ace team has gotten all these random mass negative quirks for literally no reason. This is really infuriating. And it's like I know you can remove them, but it takes like a week and it's like really expensive. It's just restart those. That's your playstyle a lot as well. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just a way of thinking. I think that you can get into and you can get out of, but like for me, I really feel like it's more fun to play those kinds of games if you're capable of playing it. If you're rewarded for playing it perfect as a perfect sort of player. Whereas that kind of game are expected to like just sort of lose some stuff and you sort of have to take it on the chin and just be like fine with it. Don't think you ever did it on Legend difficulty. Like play it in that way or beat it at all. Because like getting sort of a perfect run on Legend difficulty, I know there are people who do it as well. Like that's another thing, but like there are people who know very very well like all the ins and outs of all the combat and stuff like that. So they would definitely just know more about how to play it than I do. But Okay. How much more of this do we have before it's all sort of done here? Still a lot of infra scrap. Done a perfect run on Darkest Dungeon hard, but not XCOM Legend difficulty. I have done it on XCOM Legend difficulty on Iron Man, and it was not a fun experience. Did manage to get through the whole thing without losing anybody. It sucked. XCOM 2, I have not done that yet, though, and I probably never will. The random bosses where it's like they have like these stupid gimmicks that you have to sort of learn as you go and or look them up, and I at this point would probably just look it up if it weren't the fact I wouldn't bother with it. But like it's all those bosses where you do an action then they get an action. That's not the kind of game where that I feel like works very well. I don't feel like that's a very good system for that kind of game. Okay, so what I maybe want to do is actually take apart the energy power generator here. Maybe not. I don't know. I need tech, infra, and energy. So I could reclaim all those by taking apart this. Shortly after losing someone? Yeah. Okay, is this... This is still not done yet. We're still waiting on it. Man. Sure takes a long time to completely take apart that thing. Condition gone, good. Okay, now we're just waiting for the high tech and the energy, and I don't think we've got the resources to make either of those. All we've got right now is infra blocks coming in. That's fine, though. Wonder where the hell that that one guy is. Okay, so there should be a thing that says unexplored. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is unvisited. Unvisited. But this one should be visited. This one should be visited. Do I have to go to this one too for the mission? It does say it's unvisited, so I guess that probably counts. What is my, like, reward for this? Scopes and tactical grips. I don't know if I actually care that much about doing this soon, because, like, the bonuses seem like they'd be pretty good, but, like, everything here is kind of rough and I need to get somewhere. Need to be somewhere not here and not getting my ass kicked by this place quite so badly. I feel like there's a lot of settings that would actually do like an XCOM style thing kind of better than Clone Wars. Maybe they want to make one though it's like an XCOM style game though where you've got like a couple hero units and like for that purpose having access to the Jedi because they don't really do that in XCOM normally. Your units are all sort of like scrubs that are coming up from nothing and are kind of like just eventually becoming good. Whereas like if you start off with a couple like real Jedi, that would actually make it so that you're pretty credible with a couple of your units right from the word go. Is this done yet? Yes. Okay. Let's go head over here. Sure, it's mostly Disney hiring people. Yeah, it is that, but also like I think that there is probably a demand for like a Star Wars style game of like that sort. Food surplus again. Ooh, I just dodged those pirates. Nice. Okay. Is that robots? I feel like that's robots again. God damn it. I think they're on this asteroid field, so we again can't actually do anything about this. I've been very happy with licensing Spider-Man and Insomniac. You know what would actually be really neat is if instead of like the big name superheroes, they could do like an XCOM style game where you're a rookie team of superheroes, of ones that are like not Spider-Man or anything like that. The reason they would never do that is because they want you to be the big name heroes and stuff like that, but still, you know. You could even have like the actual heroes come in from time to time and help you out in missions or whatever. I think that'd be neat compared to sort of what they do. Hyper jump. Counter, I made that, yeah, with the big name ones. Yeah, it's always the big name ones they have to have, which I don't think works super well for that format. Midnight Suns, it probably didn't do very well. That kind of game can't really succeed very effectively. Well, I guess if you're like the Avengers or something like that, I don't know, but it was legitimately good. I've never even heard of it. Then again, I'm not super in the loop as far as these kind of things go. I don't watch game shows or the trade sort of promotions or whatever. Alrighty. Honestly, they could probably do the Disgaea thing where it's like you start off with a bunch of nobodies and you sort of slowly accumulate some buddies that join up with your team or whatever, but underperformed. But my guess is that they failed to properly advertise it because the fact that I have not even heard of it like at all is a pretty interesting like sign because like I'm not super in the loop or anything like that, but I still should have been able to have heard about it, right? So the fact that I haven't is just kind of a real sort of telling sort of moment about that. Okay, the pirates are like right on my ass, and I think that they're actually coming after me, but I don't want to go after that because there's robots, I think, there. Or no, are there? Ooh, there aren't. Okay, so the only things I actually give a crap about here is actually the exotic ore. Everything else I don't really need. My A-team is asleep right now. We're going to want to still take this thing over. There's actually like a lot of games that are kind of like that, where they're like considered good by the people who do play it, but then like I think the executives get gun shy about certain genres of games where they're like, no one's actually going to want to play this, and then they have a team that like puts a lot of work into making a really good game or whatever, and then like for whatever reason they just don't sell. They don't try to sell it because like they don't want to put the money into the advertising budget. And it's always a real big shame when that happens because I do feel like that's actually really quite common. Okay, I'm gonna let you go to the bathroom. Seems like that would be the right thing to do for a person who needs to go, to not make them go in their spacesuit while they're in whatever. Tried to rely on the Marvel brand too much? Yeah, probably. It also gotten drowned out because like Marvel has like such a huge amount of stuff that's coming out lately that like they just didn't really remember it in the marketing meetings. They're just like thinking about all the different stuff that they're going to market and sell, and they're just like, oh yeah, no, that exists. Well, we forgot about it during the shuffle of all the other stuff that we're doing right now, so we'll just maybe not worry about that. That's also possible. Okay, I'm going to save here. Want to check it out at some point? I mean, if you want to, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I'm not going to because like those games make me mad, but you know, I don't know why I even played XCOM. Like they are legitimately like XCOM's legitimately good and fun game. It's just like some of the mechanics sort of intersect where it's just like if you get a little bit unlucky or you make a little bit of a mistake or something like happens, like you push forward just that one extra tile or whatever, you just instantly get destroyed, and it's just like that's not interesting. Um, for me, the thing that I always wanted from those games is to make it so that like scouting was more viable instead of just like you walk that one tile too far forward and instantly activate like an entire pod. And I kind of wish that more aggressive pushing forward was not like so badly discouraged. Okay, we need a. Speaking of, let's. I thought we were going to be bots for sure, but. Okay, I can't rotate that, but let's. Ouch. God damn it. Okay, robots are on the way. Let's get someone into operations. We'll actually red light this. Oh god. Bugs are so much easier than the goddamn robots. Alright. We gotta move these teams fairly quickly here. Okay. Always had a Reaper Scout. I still found that was pretty easy to just get ambushed, or rather push too far forward too fast. It was definitely easier once you had like more upgrades and stuff like that, like it was more possible by then, but I never lost the feeling about the like inability to push forward though. Like that never felt like that went away to me. Okay. You guys back in there. this thing, and we'll salvage everything. The thing that always like happened would be like I would try to like move forward to flank an enemy or something like that, and I'd do that and it would activate a pod. I do remember XCOM 2 actually was not as bad about that in terms of like the generation map generation, but it was still like something that could happen pretty easily. Is that just a scout so far? Nope, here they come. Okay, so we got that guy. Go ahead and collect that. Play it hyper aggro. The problem is I do play it fairly aggro because like I'd run up and then I'd like try to flank something and then suddenly I'd be getting activating everything on the map. It definitely was more front loading the RNG. Yeah, yeah. No, I still felt like there could be moments where like there were bad spawns. XCOM 2 definitely was better about this though because like but even in XCOM 2 when I'm looking at that it definitely feels like flanking still feels like it kind of sucks and you're punished for doing it more than you're rewarded, which really like is bad. I think that's just not good for that style of game. And there are legitimate reasons why like flanking is always going to be a little bit punishing in those sort of games, but like if you sort of push forward and you activate like a whole bunch of enemies and stuff like that, and having like 6 activated pods or whatever at the same time, you wouldn't actually do that. There's usually like 4, I think, on a standard map, but like having them all active at the same time just really sucks. It was way worse in XCOM 1 though, because they lumped them all together, and it's just like a terrible way to do that. But okay. Yep, robots detected again. Where are they? Over here? Nope, that's rocks. Oh god. Man. Interested in seeing how your company handles it. It's probably the same way. It's probably like early game you're really like screwed over because like you don't have the tools you need, and then like it gets sort of easy once you have like way too much stuff. That's kind of how those games kind of have to be in a lot of ways. Okay, it's 2 down, 1 more to go. Almost. Man, accuracy of this thing's kind of garbage. I think we managed to miss every one of those shots. There we go, got him. Okay. Let's get Pete off of there. Let him go to sleep. Man, we have a lot of dead bodies. You're excited to check it out? Yeah, I'll look into it a little bit. I'm kind of one of those like Star Wars fans that likes the series a lot, but doesn't watch all the stuff and doesn't like read all the books and stuff like that because I'm extremely picky about the Star Wars IP. Um, which might sound like contradictory, but like I'm a huge snob when it comes to Star Wars, so it's just like But yeah, no, if it gets you into the series, that's also a good thing. Okay, we're just missing the energy block now. There's also a slight possibility that we don't have access to another energy block here, which would suck. But, you know, might be what ends up happening. Actually, do any of these actually recycle in energy blocks? It was this one, right? Yeah, this can turn into energy blocks. We have 0.8 energy blocks. Don't know if you'll ever check out the movies. I would actually honestly recommend at the very least the original trilogy because like you'll probably be able to just watch it on television at some point in time. Assuming that you've got like, you know, Disney Plus or something like that. I don't know. I don't have any of that. Oh, you don't have a Disney? Yeah, I guess you're screwed. You won't be able to watch any of them anymore. They used to have it on just regular cable all the time, but obviously for you know, a bunch of reasons they don't have that anymore. Okay, hopefully that gets all put out there. Okay, fixed. Whatever, it's fine. That one room is just decompressed, but it's fine. Oh man. Imagine if your bedroom got hit by an asteroid. That would be a thing that could happen to you. Why did this light on fire? Probably got hit by an asteroid. Never had cable anyway. I mean, that probably implies that you're a lot younger than I am, but you know what? That's fine. It's like when I was growing up, it's basically impossible to just not have cable. It's just like, yeah, here's your complimentary cable for existing. It's like, okay. You did technically have to pay for it and all that, but I mean, basically everybody had it. Virtually impossible not to. Okay, this is all done, it looks like. Okay, let's head out of here. Yeah, cable's a kid. Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised you didn't see Star Wars on cable when you were a kid. Then, like that's kind of something that played a lot. Yeah, no, I haven't had that since I got my own place either. Yeah, same boat as far as that goes, kind of. Okay, let's jump. Sure, we'll drop here. Might be able to buy some stuff off these guys. Ooh, and there's a derelict over there. Find a ship under attack by a hostile faction. The crew has been taken prisoners. Okay, so I'm gonna have to jump over there, I guess. We'll take these. Okay, so they've got 4 people over here. Okay, draft. Spacesuits. Do I need to actually spacesuit here? I don't know. Didn't watch much TV. Mostly played games. Yeah, I did mostly, but I still watched some stuff. Okay. Hopefully these guys aren't very heavily armed. Okay, so what do we do about this? Take the crew prisoner, okay. Now, the problem here is I don't actually have a prison quarters. Okay, that's weird. We're in the ship, so you'd think that that would be a sort of given here, but whatever. All right, let's get our guys back. So the prisoners don't count as something I get in here for some reason. Let's also try and trade with these guys. They're willing to pay a lot for nuts and seeds, which is interesting. And we've actually got quite a few of those, so I'm actually going to sell them as many as we can. They've got a shit ton of Energium. But we are switching over, actually, right, like, now, so kind of actually doesn't make sense to do that. I need energy blocks. They don't have any. Marvelous. Wonder bar. Okay, well, I guess we are going to take some Energium. Take, like, that many. Sell them some biomatter. Yeah, the lack of blocks here is kind of meh, but whatever. All things considered, do you think they would actually give us, like, more, but... Okay, what do we do here? Okay, so the prison block, we're going to put that over here, I think. Let them have a power node with them. Have some in-floor. We'll have a tall light here. We'll have that there. There. And then we'll try to make it actually like look a little bit nice in here. Because then it'll make it easier for us to like convert them over, because I'm assuming that's a thing you do in this. Okay. And I need to buy infra blocks. Great. Alright, I can afford that. Well, how do I pick these guys up? Okay, the other thing I need to do, this is in here now. Okay, so clearly that's too much. Let's clear out this. That looks right. Okay. You guys have a mission for us? Sure, I'm willing to accept that. How do I get these guys? Over here. I'm gonna assume I have to draft up some of my own guys here. Let's grab... Who's not sleepy? Peter? Oh, okay. I get it. Damn it. Okay. Okay, so Peter, get in here. Now head over here. Okay, does this work? Okay, yep, that's how you do it. Okay, okay. So we were voluntolding some of the people from wherever it is that we are right now, middle of nowhere, I guess, into the fleet. All well and good. Prisoner complaints. Oh, they have to have their own food thing? That's interesting. They can have an algae dispenser. Need to buy a tech block. I'll probably actually be able to get a tech block, but at the same time, let's just buy one. Okay, we need to get some stuff built and organized before we can really go too deep into getting our other stuff done. So let's try and get these walls finished. Also, did one of our prisoners die? I feel like one of our prisoners might have died. All right. Yeah, so we got ourselves a little recruitment thing here. We'll hopefully get that all done there. No path to medical bed. I think that's because they want a second medical bed, but they can go suck it. We've got one for ourselves, so... Alright. Once Emmeline and everybody wakes back up, because I think that they just... Oh, no, they just woke up, I think. Okay. Off we go to our next adventure. Holly drafts. And Zabalin. Oh no, he's alive. He's over on our medical bed. How nice of us. Okay, let's go ahead and do another quick save here. Our Energium's at 4 currently. You know what, let's... I am actually going to buy a little bit more of this. Let's see if I can sell some stuff here. Good enough. Oh. Well, you know what? The time limit was too short given the circumstances. Anyway, it's fine. Oh, here we go. Okay, we want someone to be bait. Let's see if it's the same one here. Yeah, so we'll do this. I think we're just going to go the more aggressive route here. If it's just bugs, we're at kind of the point where I think we're kind of fine. Wow. Good shooting, everybody. Got it done in the end there, Jesus. Oh shit, there's a bug in there. Okay. Oh. Poor rifle. I wonder if you could actually just watch all of Star Wars on YouTube these days. I kind of feel like you probably could piece it all together. Weapon quality degraded. Interesting. I'm surprised there's still enemies on the ship. Oh, you could easily find like a lore video. I'm kind of suspecting you could probably actually just watch Star Wars online. Like on YouTube, I bet. Okay, so one of these should be... Yeah, so they're already getting that. We found an energy block. Perfect. Also, I'm not actually sure how many video essays there really are of Star Wars. It's a really simple series. There's not really, like, a lot of depth to it. Like, I think the only thing you're really going to get is a bunch of, like, Joseph Campbell, like, hero's journey kind of stuff. I think that's about it, really. And I don't think you need 6 hours to explain that. I feel like you could do that in less time. Oh, they need a toilet. That is a very valid complaint, guys. That's, you know, fair enough, I guess. Let's just slam one of these down beside your algae producer. Where is the algae coming from? You don't want to know. Okay, so we got that done. We are currently up to 5 days worth of energy, which is good, but our solar output's actually basically none. The fact that I can't get the resources to make like one toilet is kind of terrifying. All right. Yeah, no, it's pending, guys. Don't worry about it. We will eventually build you a toilet. I know Luna over here is about to poop herself, but, you know, we can't really do much about it. sure we could have prioritized better. Like, we could have specifically gone for the specific type of blocks that would let us fix that problem, making it so that we would be getting the right kind of scrap, like, right away. But, you know, we didn't do that. All right, we're up to 6 days worth of energy because we're now doing the energy rods a little bit. Good, good. And we do have the toilet now, so they should actually use it, I would imagine. And sure, it's the humiliation ritual of, like, the other two prisoners are, like, right there looking at you while you use it, but I feel like that's accurate for prison experience. Yeah, these guys no longer dying. I think they're no longer dying. So eventually we'll get to turn these people into good old-fashioned recruits, which is great. Yeah, this is actually working out pretty well. Okay, this whole jumping to this new sector instead is working out great for us. In fact, I still can't get any new tech blocks, though. I don't know, man. Is there a way to check out how much backup power we've actually got here? Hmm. Okay, what I want to do here is check. Yeah, energy is low again, that's fine. Power. This is 3, 5, so it's one more of everything. And I can't afford that right now, unfortunate. I think we just buy a little tiny bit more Energium, which does suck, but... Give them rifle. These guys are all poor quality, so I'm going to sell off all of these. Help them defend themselves in the event that pirates come after them again. I wonder if our crew happiness includes our... I don't think it includes our prisoners. I think they're fine. I feel like this process is also taking a really long time, though. I don't know why it's taking so long to get this thing scrapped. I wonder where recruitment chances are. They feel like they're probably going to be pretty low right now, I'd imagine. Can't imagine they'd be high. Chance to convert is 0.7%. The chance to rebel is actually way higher. What's she panicking about? Our lack of IV fluid, maybe? I wonder if we need to turn on our chemical refinery. We'll turn it on for now. Still low on Energium, though. IV fluid should just be like salt and water, basically, right? What the hell happened to the wall? Maybe he got beat up by a prisoner. Okay, just got a little bit of hull scrap left. Then we can leave. It's gonna take 100 days for, like, one of these guys to turn. Okay. Guess there's a question of whether or not I care about those last hull blocks. I probably don't have to actually care about those all that much. Although we can do this. Nah, not really worth it. Turn that thing off. We got enough IV fluid now, so we'll turn this off. Our energy consumption was just like through the roof, though, for a little while there. Okay, is that thing done finally? Good. Took a damn while, jeez. Mostly saline? Yeah. I guess like having a proper like sterilized one that you could use as an IV drip would be like more than just a desk though, like with a bottle of water and whatever. But I feel like you could, if in a pinch, use that. Just go to the sink and fill it up there. Yeah, sure. What could go wrong with having just the prisoners awake during our hyper jump? God damn it. Okay, what's this? High cyclical thermal radiation. Thermal regulators will have periodically a higher utilization rate and draw more power. Okay. Thermal radiation is high. That's not good. Rogue robots, that's not good. Yeah, nothing about this is good. What do we have over here? The robots are actually heading right at us right now. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trust one that was made like that, but at the same time, I think that would be... No, human blood is not distilled water. Human blood is very not distilled. Blood plasma has got... Like, the reason you would probably want to use that is so you don't end up with, like, weird contaminants or pathogens, like, put in the blood. That would be quite bad. Okay, you know what? I probably need to go and do a backload here. God, I don't think I can actually get out of this. Yeah, this sucks. Okay. Salt mimics the concentration of salt in human blood. Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much what you're after. Although if you're replenishing salt, you probably need a little bit more, I guess, if they're low on that, and if they're in a different situation. This place sucks. I think I kind of have to avoid this particular jump and actually just keep jumping until I get somewhere else. This place is supposed to have like high resources, and I've been tricked. I feel like I've been duped into coming here. When realistically I should probably have gone somewhere else. Maybe I don't know where though. Are these derelicts not done? I'm pretty damn sure those were already done. God. Yeah, so I think the blue suns here are like really high energy or something like that, but tap water is going to have enough other stuff in it to throw the concentrations out of whack, probably. But, you know, if you're in an event where you had to make like an improvised saline solution because you got a prisoner bleeding out in your spaceship and don't have anything else that you've got available, that would probably still be fine, roughly speaking, since what you're trying to do is like make sure that they don't they don't die of lack of fluids, basically, is really what that's for primarily. Can I get out of this situation? I'm also at like 0 energy and 0 energy. Yeah, I probably have to do something about this that's a bit janky. I'll probably have to do a revert to like a more previous save. Like I said though, I do have to call this a bit early because I still have to like head back and do a little bit more stuff for my move out. So mostly cleaning. I just have to do a little bit more cleaning. Has to be done by Monday, but I don't have like the luxury of doing it on any day except for my days off, which is Wednesday. So basically, I'm trying to get that done today. So yeah, I'm gonna have to head out now, but I will be back next week Monday because actually no, I might be late on Monday because I had to go and do something on Monday. I had to turn in the keys and everything like that on Monday. And depending on how late the person collecting those actually is, that might mean I don't have enough time to do this, because then after that I also have to go return my internet modem for my old internet, so that'll be another thing that I have to do. Might be able to get back in time, but I don't know. I don't really know how long any of that's going to take. It could be days even. I might be on a journey for miles. I might be, you know, doing something crazy. But yeah, I feel like I need to figure out an effective way to like get our energy like relatively in control. The fact that we've got this problem here, the thermal radiation being high and the solar panels don't work very well because there's not enough light for them, is wild as a combination. But yeah, other than that though, that's pretty much going to be it for today. So I hope you found this one enjoyable, and I hope to see you guys all next time.